What do you get when you throw two natural born intuitive mediums together with a passion for animals and empowerment?
Spirits, angels, and guides. Oh my. I'm empowerment medium Tara Diana.
And I am intuitive medium Nancy Brady. Together, we focus on the good,
The bad,
and the ugly of working with the spirit realm.
but mostly we're focusing on the good.
Hey, Tara, welcome back. I am Nancy Christine Brady, for those of you listening, with the lovely
Tara Diana.
empowerment medium.
You didn't say you were an intuitive medium.
Didn't I?
You did not.
So she's telling you I'm intuitive. I'm telling you she's empowerment, and we're good to go.
And we work really well together. Here we are. Good stuff.
So today, trigger warning. We should have that probably at the beginning of every single episode we do. But today we're going to be talking about etiquette. And so as psychic mediums, I would like to say that Tara and I follow a very strong, strict code of ethics. And excuse me. So today we're going to talk a lot about etiquette, what it is, why you need it, and all of those good things.
Etiquette falls into a very interesting category because I feel that not only should practitioners, energy healers / practitioners, energy workers, whatever you want to call them, mediums, tarot readers, oracle readers, dowsers, anyone that's working with spirit, I feel like we must. It is a must that we follow a form of etiquette in doing the work. But I also feel that the participants, the receivers, the clients, the guests, the whatever, they should have an etiquette to follow as well when receiving.
Yeah.
That doesn't get talked about a lot. So I want to dive into that a bit later too.
Yeah. So let's start there. Why not? Like I firmly believe there's a couple things that when I'm doing readings, I want the reader to come with an open-minded heart. I want them to come and just be receptive to the messages that are coming. The one thing I refuse to do is test the medium. I won't do that. If you're sitting there and you're going, I want my brother John to come through and he has to say the color red and talk about a maple tree. You know what? We might not be right aligned for each other because I don't play test the medium. I deliver messages very uniquely and different from any other medium, as do you, Tara. And I really firmly believe that a lot of the energy that's aligned with me and spirit and who's meant to receive them are going to be sitting in front of me. But if you do show up, I don't want to hear information about your people. I want to go in cold, so you're going to get some evidence, and I want you to be open to it. And I don't want to play test the medium.
So having no expectations when you come into a reading is actually almost impossible for people. So there is a reason they're choosing to seek out and energy exchange with someone. There's a reason they're spending their hard-earned cash on this. And so they're not going to come in without an expectation. They're going to come in and they're going to be like, okay, you know what? I want my dad to come through. I want so-and-so to come through. What they need to do is they need to be respectful of the medium, of the person being of service. And in my view, they need to be open-minded. Absolutely. They need to be able to come in and be like, okay, I want dad to come through. We're just going to use dad as the scenario here. I want dad to come through. I need dad to come through. I miss him. I feel him. That's who I want to come through. So there's no harm in that. They sit in that energy. 9 times out of 10, dad's coming through, baby. So that's a good thing. But sometimes Joe Blow comes through, or sometimes your guide has something more important. And what we actually are asking when we say, come with no expectation, come with this, is that you just be open to receive everything that we're going to give you. Because if you come for a 45-minute reading, the chances of spirit coming through for 45 minutes and providing you with nonstop messages is not likely going to happen. And if it does, someone's feeding someone something. So come in, don't feed the medium. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Well, don't feed the medium. Why don't you feed the medium? Because when you feed the medium, it takes them out of their power. Now they're listening to your story that you're telling, and people do love to tell their stories. And that's why when I ask for clarity on something, I want yes, no answers. Yes, no, I don't know, especially on platform. Yes, no, I don't know. Because then my spirit, my spirit team, the spirit coming through, the loved one, the guide, will give me more clarity.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing that I find a problem is when they come in and they act like they're angry to be here.
Yeah.
I don't need that. I'm at a point in my career in this, and this is my career. I've chosen to do this full time. I've chosen to work consistently to heighten my ability to do this work. I can pick and choose who I work with. If you come in and you're acting like you're all the shit, I don't need that. I don't need that. And you're going to miss out on me. I'm not missing out on you. I don't need the exchange. You need the exchange. So come in and treat us with respect. Don't have that expectation. Don't come in. Don't yell at us. Don't get snotty with us. Don't act. If it doesn't work, I will simply turn you away and say, you know what? You can have your money back. I'm okay. I'm not the right fit for you. I don't hold resentment towards you or anything, but I'm not wasting your time and money, and I'm not wasting my time.
100%. And don't come in under the influence of drugs or alcohol.
No, I won't read. Actually, I stopped, Nancy. That's a great point. I don't do a lot of parties anymore anyway. I usually let that go to the people that have mentored under me. I'll be like, do you want to do a party? I'm just not my forte anymore. Having said that, I'm doing the one tonight, just a dinky little one. But one of the biggest reasons I stopped doing that is that the people, okay, trigger warning is in effect. I don't want to read for a bunch of drunk people. As the way I work with spirit is again, and this goes down to the TikTok stuff, right? To the TikTok live readings. The way I work with spirit is to be of service, to provide something for you that's going to move you forward. I am an empowerment medium. I give empowering messages through spirit. Spirit connects with me with purpose. The purpose is to move you forward. If you are loaded, whether it is alcohol or drugs, it tends to be more alcohol, right? Women having at a girl's party or whatever, you're not hearing my message. I also find that is when people become more combative, and they come into that space and they're more like, well, that doesn't make any sense to me, but you're not listening anyway, so it's not gonna.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like that TikTok stuff, right? Now that I'm doing lives on TikTok, I said to my assistant, Kiara, that helps me, Nan. I said, Cara, we're not doing these messages. These people coming in, there's no exchange, right? So there's no exchange. So they're just coming in. They're like, is Bob cheating on me? Is so-and-so keeping a secret from me? Am I going to get my PR card? They're not asking, they're using me as a form of entertainment. And so I said to Kiara, no more. I said, no more. Even if we only have 5 people on our lives, it will be 5 quality people looking for the proper type of exchange. Boom.
100%. Yeah. And so what's your opinion on, like, often when I'm sitting with someone, I'm like, what are you after today? Is there anyone specific you'd like to connect with? And I'll often have them give me a person, and all I need is mom, dad, cousin, whatever. That's it. Nothing more. What's your opinion on that?
That's a good question, because I find that when I come into when someone comes to sit with me, I just start spewing off anything. I always say, is there something specific you're looking for? And the reason I say that is because my offering says mediumship, oracle cards, that kind of thing. So I just want to make sure that we're going to jive right off the bat, and we're not playing games. I don't like to waste time. I generally don't ask for who would they like to come through, unless I feel like there's just far too many spirits trying to tap in. My gatekeeper, which if you don't know what a gatekeeper is, this is a guide that works with me. I don't care if you believe it or not, works with me and shifts things around. So I know who I'm working with. So I generally don't ask that. I'm not against asking that. I don't think that's fishing at all. I mean, I do believe that and fishing, for anyone that doesn't understand, is when you feed the medium or the medium asks too many questions. They're fishing for answers. I don't feel that at all. I think, do you remember Chip Coffey? Does that name ring a bell to you?
Like, is that like a home and garden guy or something?
No, I know what your Chip is, a home and garden guy. I don't know who that is myself, but I'm thinking about. Do you remember when Paranormal State came out? The show that was all about the college kids. It was a what do you call those shows? A reality show, and they were a bunch of college kids that were doing paranormal investigations, and they had a couple of mediums that they worked with, and Chip Coffey was the older gay gentleman.
Right. Yes. Okay.
So I went and saw him with the lovely Limmery was with me, and I went and saw him, and I couldn't tell if I was impressed, annoyed, or what. I couldn't figure it out. But what he did, that at first I was appalled, because we're always taught in mediumship not to fish, don't ask questions, cold, go in, give them the messages, right? That provides you proof that you're connected, evidential, blah, blah, blah. And he stood up, and bless his gay little heart, he literally said to the people they had us all stand in line at this microphone. And he said, okay, I want 3 pieces of information about who you want to come through. A name, what did he say? The name, the relationship, and the age. And I was like, sweet goodness, those are 3 of the best pieces of evidence you could give to the person that you had them. So I was like hyperventilating there. I was like, what kind of mediumship is this? But here's an interesting thing, Nancy, and this is really important, is that he was great. He was phenomenal. He connected and provided evidence beyond that was supportive that he had this person. So who the hell am I to judge how he got the message, just because Stansted, England, whatever, is all about the evidence? So I went back and taught a class after seeing Chip, and there was a girl in the class, and she's actually one of our good friends right now, who does a lot of work. She has a great podcast too, but I don't want to throw her out there with this, but she was having a really hard time in mediumship, connecting the way that I connect and that I teach. And so I suggested to her, do the Chip Coffey way. That's what we called it, do the Chip Coffey way. And I said, those 3 pieces ask for those 3 pieces of evidence and connect. And you know what? Boom, baby. She was connected.
Nice. And so, yeah, it's to each his own, really. I remember, some of the people is like, why not ask who they want to connect with? And I had a couple of readings when I was starting out where I did have people sit down. They were very indifferent. They had the arms crossed. They weren't open to receiving. There was all sorts of beautiful messages coming through from their mother and their spirit guides and their cousin. But this one lady in particular only wanted to hear from her brother. And she was so shut down. Nope. And then she was playing Test the Medium, and she was doing all these things. And eventually, after about 5 minutes, I just said, you know what? I'm sorry. I don't think we're a good match. I'm going to walk you. I was doing a fair. I said, I'm going to walk you to the front, and we'll have your money refunded. And maybe someone else can better to connect with you. And her daughter was sitting there, and she says, Mom, you're getting these incredible messages from your relatives. You're not listening to them just because you want your to come through. And I was sitting there watching the 2 of them sort of go at it with each other. And she looked at me and she said, I'm so sorry. She's like, my mother has been wanting a message from her brother since he passed 3 years ago. We have been to 12 mediums, 12. And none of them have brought him through. And so she was so shut down and it doesn't surprise me though, because when she went into that reading, she was only wanting one outcome.
That's right.
And so
focused on it.
She was hyper-focused. And for whatever reason, I don't know if that was cutting off the energetic connection to the brother. I don't know what it was, but she wasn't getting what she wanted. And I really kind of felt sorry for her.
Well, do you know what it does? Is when you're so focused on this, you're missing the messages that are important right now. So they just keep being repeated over and over.
Yes.
We're on like a repetitive record. Remember the old days of vinyl? It's like just repeating over, like it's skipping because she's not taking it. So they can't move forward with more messages. Yeah, that's a hard thing for sure. And, as a medium, you did the exact right thing. The etiquette is cut the message, stop it. Don't go any further. If you're not connected, you're not connected. There is absolutely zero shame in that. You know what I mean? There is no shame in being able to say, now, does it happen very often to me? I think I can think of like 3 or 4 times in like 22 years that I've done this kind of thing. Just said, yeah, no. No. This isn't going to work. I what am I trying to say? I find that when readers use that, though, and what I mean by that is use that when we're not connected, when they're not picking up anything on a consistent basis, brings me back to last episode talking about investing in yourself and making sure that you have all the tools to do the work, right? I can't use that person. And when I say use, you guys, like Nancy corrected me last time, it's not I use people, it's that I help them come into their space, and then I also help them build their business. So I can't work with that person because they've not invested in the way they should have invested. And whether it's with me or someone else. So yeah, no, people are like that, Nan.
Yeah. The other part of etiquette that I really want to talk about is when the message comes through, and this is kind of for both parties. This is for the sitter and for the reader. We aren't oracles. We don't predict the future. We don't sit down and tell you you're going to win the lottery. We can't predict numbers. We can't do a lot of that stuff. You know, we are a soul living a human experience. So I really encourage people when they're going to sit in a place of having a reading that they don't just look for predictions, that they actually are open to receiving the messages that are coming through and then doing the work. I feel like that's an important part of it, because we can't predict your fate or destiny. There's human free will everywhere. Whatever's going to come through is going to come through. We're going to deliver messages for your highest good. And yeah, I think just to be like, I always say you're going to get what you're needing to get, not what you want.
Yeah, and I think most people that do this work, Nancy, come in with that scenario, you know, the idea, that thought in their mindset that, you know, when we sit down, we're giving them what is for their highest and best. And that is my contract with Spirit, is that I'm not here to deep dive. I'm not here. And this brings us to another little snippet of stuff, is that what should we give and what shouldn't we give? So I do not talk about demons and devils because they don't exist in my world. I've never been shown a demon and devil. I've never seen an entity attach themselves to anyone. And this is where we get performative bullshit and all that stuff. People who dive into things and sit in that energy drive me cray-cray. But realistically, if you are not giving a powerful, purposeful message, if you're talking about, you know, I heard someone talk at a demonstration about a woman who there was a lot of people that were jealous of her. And the premise of the reading was, the message was that you should be very careful because they're so jealous of you, and kind of went into this whole energy thing, which I believe that the medium may have thought that they were giving a message that was going to put her aware, make her aware of the situation. And I felt the message, my spirit team was like choking me, making sure I didn't say anything. But I felt that the message was going to cause her grief in the future, because now she's got self-doubt about the people around her. Or maybe not self-doubt, but doubt about the people around her. Oh, is this person looking at me with jealousy? Is this person? And so how does that elevate you?
Exactly. And, you know, it brings us back to where I was kind of awkwardly starting to go with my first comment.
Sorry.
About, no, it's all good, about predictions. I find sometimes I've seen people just get to a point where they make stuff up because they feel that the message still has to come through with those predictions or fate or you know, destiny readings. And that's really, I don't feel, a place where we should go. And to bring it back to what you were talking about, we need to be aware as readers are the power behind the words we have. You know, I've done readings for a lady, and it quite surprised me because she was really wondering if she should move. Next time I talked to her, she had actually moved. Thank God it didn't come out of my mouth or Spirit's that, you know, yeah, you need to move. But think about it. Like, if I had said to her, you know, her guides are coming through and saying, I specifically remember saying change is good. You know, they welcome change for you. But under code of ethics, I would never say anything like, I never would project someone's death. I would never say you absolutely need to move or divorce your husband. that is coming out of ego. That is coming out of showmanship. That is crossing every boundary as far as ethics and integrity, in my opinion.
You know, it's funny. I'm listening to this and I'm thinking to myself, in all the years, that I've done the work, if spirit is really like, look at the situation, that brings me back to working for a community up in the interior, and every problem that these particular people were having came down to their husbands. And finally I had to say, because the messages, this is years worth of work with the same people over and over, and no change and the same story. And finally I looked at them all and I said, what is the common denominator here? Separately, they're all, separate readings. I said, you have to address your relationship. And you do have to address it.
Yeah.
Have to address the relationship. You don't have to leave them. You don't have to love them. You don't have to do anything. But you have to address it, because this is the problem.
This comes back to what I said earlier about doing the work.
Right.
If that's the core part of your problem, you're not telling them to leave. You're not telling them to do any of that. You're telling them to do the work.
Look at the situation. It's the same with that. Someone says to me, and that's why the TikTok readings, I there was a moment I was like, maybe this isn't my forte. I like TikTok a lot, mostly for the animals, but I like going on. You've seen me. I like doing lives. That's my thing. I like going on there. But I was like, you know what? It's not up to me if you get pregnant. And let's talk about the whole destiny, fate, and free will choice. Fortune teller and free will choice thing. Free will choice legitimately says that spirit can only see to hear. If you choose to go left instead of right, then that changes. Also, free will and speculation and all this stuff that comes with, fortune telling, tell the future, am I going to be pregnant? Am I going to have a boy? All that changes because there's another person involved, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not reading for that other person. I don't have permission to read for that other person. They're not asking me to tap into their energy or to have spirit talk about them or anything like that. So when you start going into predictions about, am I going to get married? Am I going to do this? Is the right person for me? There's no way that spirit's taking into consideration the person you're talking about.
Yeah.
Because haven't given permission, and I am not energetically snooping into anyone's stuff. I don't want to. It's integrally wrong. So when you come for a reading, my boos, you need to be coming about you. You need to be coming and asking the questions that are going to affect you. Not if Peter is, thinking that does Peter love me? Oh my goodness, those kinds of questions. So we can't control what other people do. So there is never anything set in stone. Ever. When something comes to fruition and you're like, yeah, they told us. It's kind of sheer luck.
Yeah.
Really. Maybe everyone's going to stop coming to us now, but but spirit, spirit is wanting to see you succeed, and they're going to give you the tools. Take the tools, do the work, shift and a change accordingly. We don't diagnose. I'm not telling you. Even if I see you have cancer, I am not telling you. I will guide you gently, lovingly to a doctor. This is bothering you. I would suggest that you go and see someone about it. Something about your chest feeling off. You can say that because it draws attention to it. Something about your chest, but you're not going in and say, I say black energy attached to your heart. You've got heart. I don't even know if you can have heart cancer, but you've got heart disease, right?
Exactly.
Heart disease. I will guide you with the spirit's most gentle and compassionate words so I don't freak the living shit out of you. Because again, they're just guiding you to do the work. It's up to you to go.
And further to that, I know with animal communication, I get a lot of requests on is it time? Should I euthanize my animal? And I'm never going to tell you that. I'm going to put it back on you and the animal and send you to a vet, because I am not a medical intuitive. I will help guide you through sort of the spiritual part. I can help you with a lot of, let's say, the doula work, getting both of you ready energetically if it is the final decision that the two of you have made together. But I will not be the one making that decision.
No,
And that's what,
with you. Spirit doesn't expect that out of us.
no, they don't. No.
So again, someone says to you at one of my events, a reader says, "You've got cancer. I have to stop working with you because that is not you're not a medical intuitive. You cannot back that up." And that's actually a good thing about evidential mediumship. And we had a Scottish medium here, lovely man, and some of the questions that were talked about was, how come you don't give more of a message with it was all evidence. It was just evidence, evidence, evidence. And because I work from a place of message, I give 3 good pieces of evidence and then the evidence doesn't matter anymore.
Right.
Because people are here for the message. And literally he said, because I can't prove anything else. I can't prove the message.
Right.
And so to each their own. And apparently in this, and of course, in the United States, people sue over everything. So, I guess you back up. So that's why sometimes we have disclaimers that says, this is for entertainment purposes or whatever. It's not that we don't back up our stuff. I am a good medium and so are you. And we give what we get. But also, it's up to you whether you take it or not. Neither one of us, nor is anyone that we work with, going to tell you what to do with your life. We will give you suggestions. You can look at certain outcomes. But we have no investment in what you do. We are invested in you hearing the message. We are invested in being the best source for you at the time that you require it. And then it leaves our hands.
And I love that, Tari. That is so powerful and it is so important. If you have anyone who gives you a reading and tells you what to do, run. If you have anyone who says, you're dying of a medical illness or this is going to befall on you, or you have a curse and I have for a low price of $100, I can alleviate that. Run. There is no...
It's not a low price. It's usually $3,000 to $5,000 and I can cure you.
But, that kind of brings it full circle. Use your common sense. What you have as etiquette and boundaries energetically in your world, if something feels wrong as a sitter when you're in front of someone, or as a reader, if it feels icky, you don't do it. It's that simple.
It's that simple. And here's another thing. It is not our right to give messages. We have to ask permission. Hence why we don't dive into other people's stuff when other people come to read it. What's so-and-so thinking? No. So may I come to you, please? Right? If you're on platform, you ask permission to give the message. You don't just go up to someone and be like, hey, and Teresa is poor baby. She gets slammed all over the place. But you know what? She's putting on a show. She's showing how, she's making this a topic of conversation. No one should be running up to people randomly giving message.
Yeah.
They just shouldn't do it, right? You ask a question. If someone gives you an energy exchange in advance and books a reading with you, they're giving you permission to start that message. They're giving you permission to work with them. But you don't have a right to walk up to anyone and just start spewing messages at them.
That is 100% true and so important. I call it show up and throw up. You don't want, if anyone shows up and throws up, run away from them. You definitely don't want those messages because I really feel that's coming from their place of ego showing off that they can deliver a message.
That they can deliver a message. Absolutely. Even if it's for your highest and best, the integrity behind it is a problem. Problem. So, and again, it comes down to what is your purpose in doing this work? Why are you doing this work? That's the key.
That is the key. And on that note, we're going to wrap it up, my friend.
Hey, I just follow your lead, Nancy. I just follow your lead.
Do you have any last minute thoughts before we wrap it up?
Oh my goodness. Here's the thing. Any practitioner should always ask permission to do the work, should always stand in their highest and best power, and make sure that they are treating the person with the utmost respect, but that they are also being treated with utmost respect. And on a really final note, Nancy, if you will, please, just tapping into energy practitioners. I feel it's really, really important that they make sure that they are not claiming that they heal people, that they are, able to change anything. They are energy manipulators. And that's a tricky word, but it's such a fun word to use. They come in and they shift your energy so that if you are going through something, it's with more gentle feel. If they can shift it into a way that's more of a healing kind of feel, that's fabulous. But we are not, any of us or any energy practitioner should not be able to claim they can heal anyone of anything, because that is up to spirit and that is up to source and that is up to you as the person who has got the ailment or the whether it's mental, physical, emotional, it doesn't matter. I just wanted to put that out there.
100%. Couldn't agree more. Tara, as always, thank you for doing this with me. I am Nancy Brady, finishing it off as an intuitive medium, animal communicator, energy worker.
I am Tara Diana, empowerment medium, and anything that comes up.
Next episode we have for you is going to be a fun one. It's all of your listener questions. So make sure you keep sending those in to us. And until next time, thanks, everyone.
Bye.